Now, this video right here may change how you feel about Coach Jon Gruden. Whether you think he's a very good fit for the Raiders and has the potential to take us all the way to the Super Bowl, or if you feel like he's the most overrated, overpaid coach in the NFL. Whatever side of the fence you were on, I have both pros and cons about Coach Jon Gruden, and it may change your opinion on the said coach. Now, I'm going to go over the pros of Coach Jon Gruden real quick, and I'm going to give a couple of reasons why he's a very good coach. Now, one of the things that I think is very underrated about Jon Gruden is how he truly built this top 10 offense that we have. Now, let's look at how he built this team since taking it over in 2018. Now, let's start with the quarterback position. Derek Carr was coming off a disappointing season after having a 2016 season where he had an MVP caliber type year. So Jon Gruden ends up taking over in 2018, and Derek Carr is his quarterback, and as we all know, Jon Gruden is the quarterback whisperer. Since taking over, Jon Gruden decided to give Derek Carr something he has never had in his career: a consistent play caller and a system where Derek Carr can actually flourish in the offense. Now, since Jon Gruden has been the head coach, Derek Carr has improved in all of his stats every single year from 2018 to 2019 to 2020, helping develop Derek Carr into a top 10 quarterback. He has gotten better, and not only that, in 2020 he had a better statistical year than his 2016 MVP caliber type year.
Fantastic pass catching running back in. He leaks out as Carr scrambles to his right, launches the ball down the field. Behind the D, it's Renfro. What a throw on the move from Carr. Carr scans the field, steps up, he tucks it and takes off. Leaps for a first down. How about Carr putting on a show?
In disregard for his own body. Look at this. Go, gadget legs, right? Just explodes over.
Carr pumps once, pumps again, extends the play. Derek Carr in that bad going, lofted up for Aguilar, makes the adjustment and the move. The veteran Aguilar weaving his way. He will go. Touchdown Raiders. 85 yards of brilliance from Nelson Aguilar.
Jets coming. Carr put some air under it. Wide open his legs for the touchdown. Miraculous. No, he didn't. QB draw.
Carr, got it! And the Raiders go on top by a point.
Was wanted.
Even
You have to give credit to Jon Gruden. He looked at what Derek Carr was good at and built the team around him. Now, in 2018, there were growing pains between the two, but now developing him to a top 10 quarterback. And I have to say, and I believe part of the reason why Derek Carr is, not saying that Derek Carr can't be a top 10 quarterback, but I do believe it is because of Jon Gruden and getting the weapons around, building the offensive line, building the running game, helping Derek Carr and making things easier for Derek Carr. And as we see, he is a top 10 quarterback, and I think it's a big help thanks to Coach Jon Gruden. Now let's look at all the other stuff that Jon Gruden has done to build this offense. Now we're going to talk about Darren Waller. And the craziest thing is, if it wasn't probably for Jon Gruden, we probably would never hear about Darren Waller. Now, Darren Waller, as we all know, was on the practice squad of the Baltimore Ravens. One of the craziest things is that Jon Gruden trusts his offensive coordinator, Greg Olsen. They signed him off waivers the next day. They watched them in practicing while they're playing against the Baltimore Ravens. And here it is, one of the things I don't think he gets too much credit for is Jon Gruden saw a wide receiver, because Darren Waller was a wide receiver at the time, saw him say, you know what, let's make him a tight end, a position he hasn't played, and potentially we can get something really, really great from Darren Waller. Now, like I said, a practice squad wide receiver, grabbing him up, being like, hey, we're going to put you at tight end somewhere you haven't played before. And now, thanks to Jon Gruden and his mindset to change and help and develop this talent and take a risk on a kid that was having drug abuse problems, and took a chance on him. And now look at where Darren Waller is now.
Buck 20. Carr again. Quick strike. It's caught. Waller breaking free. Waller still on his feet, and he will stroll into the end zone for the touchdown.
An empty set on first down. Lofted for Darren Waller. Goes up to make the catch. Coming off the best three-game stretch for a tight end in NFL. Carr steps up. Lofts one for Waller. He's got it again. Darren Waller to the 15 and a gain of 34. Throw it on 2nd and 7. Wants Waller again, and he goes up and makes another play. Darren Waller, there's never any question, is there?
Cutting edge is fooling themselves.
Here's one downfield, and the tight end, what a throw, what a catch. Touchdown Raiders. Darren Waller, his first 2 catches of the game on this possession.
He's now a top 3 tight end in the NFL. Now, like I said, I got to give it to Coach Gruden, because if I was a coach and my offensive coordinator came up to me, pointed to a practice squad member and said, hey, we should pick that guy up just because of looking at him in warm, I would have looked at my offensive coordinator and been like, yeah, sure, fam. Then I would have went somewhere private, called Roger Goodell on the phone and be like, hey man, you need to drug test my offensive coordinator because this man's tripping in practice. And thanks to Jon Gruden, he put Darren Waller in positions for him to win and succeed. And now we see Darren Waller is a top 10 tight end helping Derek Carr. And it doesn't stop there. One of the biggest things that I give Coach Jon Gruden a lot of credit for, a lot of credit, was he traded away a generational defensive player in Khalil Mack, and everybody was on him, including me, including myself.
This is just me, and like I said, I'm just saying this right now. I think this will be the biggest regret and the stupidest decision that we've done in a long time.
Everybody was on Jon Gruden's head about that trade. Now we would end up getting their 24th pick in the NFL draft. And with that 24th pick, there's a lot of pressure because everybody knows this is the pick that you got for trading away Khalil Mack. So I was even all eyes on it. And they end up taking a running back who was ranked as a first, second round running back. But one of the big risks of taking Josh Jacobs is that he didn't have a lot of rep at the University of Alabama. So yeah, like I said, we can look at it hindsight 2020, it was a great pick, but at the time, taking a running back in the first round was a risk. And now you look at where Josh Jacobs is now.
In for the Chargers, Jacobs makes a move. What a good effort.
You know, Jenkins comes up, thinks he has him right there for no gain, and that's really good.
He's leading the way. Jacobs off the right side, behind an Ingold block, with a stiff arm, lunging for the pylon, and in for the Raider touchdown. Carry number 20 on the day for Josh Jacobs. And Jacobs, look at him lower the shoulder. That's the Josh Jacobs we saw last year.
This guy right here, I mean, he's about as impressive as they come in a young runner. He never quits. You see the tremendous leg drive.
Miller the block at the left tackle. They dump it underneath. Hard run right there for the catch by Jacobs.
Leading with the helmet also. Using the helmet as a weapon.
Watch how far Denard goes back. Holy smokes.
He's a top running back in the NFL, and he is just one of the best, like just his unique running style. And you look at the offense he's built. He's built the offensive line very good, and he's also gotten Hunter Renfrow in the slot, third down and Renfrow, the slot machine. Darren Waller, getting this guy, like I said, nobody even knew about Darren Waller except the Baltimore Ravens. Got him, switched positions to help him succeed, and now being a top tight end in the NFL and helping Derek Carr get back to his MVP type season, and having a future young running back. He can run you over, he can juke you, he can spin out. Josh Jacobs is a great talent, and I have to say, you do have to look at Coach Jon Gruden and realize he did build that. And now we have a top 10 offense, and it just shows the offensive genius that Coach Jon Gruden really has. And I think that's one of the most underrated things that doesn't get talked about with Coach Jon Gruden. It's time to go over the cons and some of the things that you could look at and say like, yo, that's an overrated head coach or overrated move. So I'm not only just going to talk about the good stuff, I'm also going to talk about the bad stuff. Now, one thing with Coach Jon Gruden is his second half collapses in the late seasons. Now, one of the things about Jon Gruden, one of the cons of having Jon Gruden is, we all know 2019, we started that season off 6-4 and had the potential to go to the playoffs. We also remember 2020, which was last year. We start the season off 6-3, had the potential to go to the playoffs. But before I even get to those, in the second half collapses that we've had in the late seasons in the NFL, Jon Gruden has also had a habit of this in Tampa Bay. If you look at his last year in Tampa Bay in 2008 when he was the head coach, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers started off 9-3 and basically had the potential to get a very good playoff seeding and make a deep playoff run for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, when they were 9-3, they had a primetime game against their division rivals, the Carolina Panthers, and guess what? They were also 9-3. So you have a 9-3 team versus a 9-3 team going for it, basically for the playoffs, but basically bragging rights for the division. So this game right here is going to basically dictate who takes over in the division, and this is what shortly happened afterward.
Strong total defense, but that Buccaneers Tampa 2 gets shredded. 38-23 the final.
Got it. 13-10, Atlanta wins. Michael Turner, 152 rush yards in the win. Huge road win for the Chargers. Back to the wall. They beat Tampa Bay 41-24. 15 seconds to go. Last chance saloon down 7. Garcia is sacked. And Tom Cable and the Raiders beat the Bucs in Tampa.
Now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will end up losing the last 4 games of the season, going from 9-3 to 9-7, and would end up missing the playoffs, and that would be Coach Jon Gruden's last season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they fired him. Now let's go back to 2019 when we started the season off 6-4, and you guys remember when we were at 6-4, we had the easiest schedule, the easiest remaining schedule from then. And we had a chance, we had a real good potential to go to the playoffs in 2019, Oakland's last year. Fast forward to 2020, fast forward to last season. We start the season off 6-3, and we have the potential to go to the playoffs in our very first year in Las Vegas. And what happens? Once it got later into the season, we just slowly took it off, and unfortunately we missed the playoffs 2 years in a row. And that one I have to put on Jon Gruden. That has to go under him. That's on coaching, in my opinion. There's no way we should go 6-4, have an easy schedule, and end up finishing 7-9. There's no way we should be able to go 6-3, beat Kansas City. People are now starting to talk about us and saying that we might be a threat to Kansas City in the playoffs, and here it is, we start the season off 6-3. Yet again, had a very easy schedule, and we end up losing 5 of our last 7 games and going 8-8. Unfortunately, that one I have to put on Coach Jon Gruden. The other thing I have to put on Coach Jon Gruden is, yes, we all know this team has had bad defenses. We've had bad defenses over the last decade. This isn't nothing new, and under Jon Gruden, the defenses haven't been good, but that is an issue. But one of the main issues I had with what Coach Jon Gruden did is firing defensive coordinator Paul Gunn. And it wasn't so much that we fired him, it's just the fact that we waited all the way until week 14 after the Indianapolis Colts game, fire him. I was kind of like, why did it take so long? Now, we all knew he was going to get fired, but waiting all the way to week 14 and then we had 3 games left, I get it, but we wasn't going to have a defensive change with the last 3 games of the season. So fortunately, that's something I have to knock against Coach Jon Gruden. And the last thing I want to talk about, it necessarily wasn't Coach Jon Gruden's fault, but we have to talk about it, the Antonio Brown trade.
They lost it, let me see it. Look up Adam Schefter. The Raiders
free!
Bro,
The freedom bell ring got me flying like a free, flying like an eagle. Let's go! Free! Let's go!
oh, I'm free. Oh.
Grandma, they freed me! They freed me, Grandma!
Ah, God is the greatest.
Now, obviously, we had that fiasco, that circus. It was a tough time during that time. We traded for Antonio Brown, and he didn't even play one single game with us. And it sucks, man, because I feel for Gruden, because you could tell he really loved Antonio Brown and he really was fighting for him. Like, he really wanted Antonio Brown to be a part of this Raiders organization. And I know we all talk about how much we hate Antonio Brown, but I wanted to, and I know a lot of Raider fans wanted to see Antonio Brown and Derek Carr and see what that connection was going to be like. Where would we be? Will we be a playoff team? Would it make us better? Also, by the way, I made a video about that. Links in the description. You should check that out. But anyways, I mean, listen to this. You could tell how much he loved Antonio Brown. Listen to this right here.
I don't feel like you're the most misunderstood fucking human being in my entire life, Slider. I mean, I brought you here because you're my favorite guy. I've never seen a guy work hard. But I don't know where you are in your life right now, office. All I know is you got a lot of things going. There's a lot of people that have an opinion about you. And whether it be good or bad, you're in the spotlight all the time. Let me ask you this, do you want to be a Raider or not?
Yeah, I've been trying to be a Raider since day one. I've been fucking working my ass off harder than anyone. I don't know why it's a question of me being a Raider. Like, do you guys want me to be a Raider?
Please stop this shit and just play football. How hard is it, man? You're a great football player. Just play football.
Yeah, but I'm more than a football player, man. I'm a real person. It ain't about the football. I know how to do that. I'll show you guys there on the daily.
And it sucks, man. I mean, took advantage of us, ends up leaving, goes to another team, and ends up winning the championship. So that is savage, man. But anyways, those are my pros and cons about Coach Jon Gruden. Did this change the way that you view him? Let me know down in the comment sections below. Are you pro Jon Gruden? Are you anti Jon Gruden? And if so, let me know down in the comments below. And before you guys leave, I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my second channel, Byron Live Interviews. I got big interviews coming in 2022. It's gonna be a while, man, but if you guys can subscribe, watch those videos. I plan on doing a lot of interviews in the future, man, so it would mean a lot. Anyways, this is your boy Byron Live 95, and I will talk to you guys next time.